In this episode of Finding You, we're going to discuss diving deeper into becoming the one you've always dreamed of. The one you've always dreamed of becoming is coming from a part of you that's very deep, one that is beneath your cognitive thinking and your beliefs about yourself and the world that you've acquired through your early childhood or formative years, and that have come from your family, social group, community, or culture. The one that you dreamed about is the part of you that was there before all of that happened and drew your focus away from who you ought to be to who you truly are. And realizing that part of you, of who you've always dreamed of becoming, is both simple and difficult at the same time. It's simple because it's always there. It's always a part of you. But the challenging part is that it's underneath all your beliefs about your shoulds and you musts, your have tos, your will nevers, and so on. It's also beneath the part of you that has to take care of your life and pay your bills and get things done. And while that latter will always be true, underneath there is a part of you that is longing to move into the direction of becoming more authentic and true to your inner compass. And they do not have to be mutually exclusive. You can do both. And it's also true that you probably can't move into it right away with the blink of an eye. Dropping everything you are doing now and being responsible for and giving it all up to pursue this more authentic part of you. Some of you are able to do that because you've achieved a state of accomplishment and emotional, social, and financial stability, but most people will not be able to do that. Even if you do have the means and the resources to give everything up, likely it will require some preparation and planning on your part. So either way, a transition period could be of great benefit. Think of it as if you were preparing to go back to school for a professional degree or even college. Either way, you would have prerequisites, you'd have a plan of study, you would have homework and work to do, there'd be an experiential part of your education, such as an internship. It often takes years of preparation to even be able to begin a new trade or career path. So if this is true for you, then you might want to plan accordingly, that it's a lot of hard work and it could take years to come into fruition. That's not to say that you should just give it up because it's too hard. But if that's how you're feeling, then maybe you're not ready to pursue it right now. And that's okay too. Just remember that your soul is likely to just keep calling to you. And when the urgency becomes greater than the need to stay in the same place that you are, you will start to make the moves towards becoming your true self. Do remember that it's one baby step at a time, and they don't have to be done all in the same sequence or all at once. So for example, you could take a few steps now, and then a few days or weeks later, or months or years even, take a few more steps. You can go at your own pace. After all, it is your life. And the advantage of going slow is that you can take the opportunities as they present themselves, instead of rushing into a pathway that your mind has decided is the way to go. And again, our minds may not necessarily know what's best for our soul's deepest intentions. The way to best stay in touch with the truest, most authentic version of you so that you can become the one you've always dreamed about is to keep checking in with yourself. And what I mean by that is not asking your head, what should I do? And worrying about it and over planning, but it's rather finding that still place where you can feel into your heart and into your gut, your deeper wisdom, your deeper truth for the you that you want to become and the pathway to get there. This is benefited by a regular practice of quieting yourself and listening to yourself on a deep level. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. And then once you are really fluent in listening to yourself and your own language, then you can use that fluency more throughout your day. And you will more naturally move into becoming the one you've always dreamed of. But it's just like learning any other language. You can't listen to an hour of babble and expect to be fluent in a new language. So in this very same way, developing a rapport with yourself takes time and practice. And the more frustrated you get with your life, the more you might be willing to invest in what you need for yourself the most. Please don't be in any judgment of yourself. This is a natural human tendency that we tend to keep doing what we're doing, even if it's unsatisfying, until we reach a point where the status quo is harder than making change. And when the status quo becomes so uncomfortable and difficult, and we're forced into the change, we'll make it. And the more this cycle recurs, the more likely you are to recognize it when it's happening and move into that change a little sooner. So, in other words, we all have to retrain ourselves to listen to ourselves and to create change for ourselves before having to hit a rock bottom moment. So if you're in a rock bottom moment, just know that this is a blessing in disguise because it's showing you the pathway to becoming more you. Thank you for listening to this episode of Finding You. Next week, we will discuss what will become of you when you become more perfect.